Hey guys, welcome to MathSimplified, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the types of numbers and the number line. So first we're going to start off with what whole numbers are. So let's just write down whole numbers. So whole numbers, what are whole numbers? Whole numbers are basically a number with no fractional or decimal part. And whole numbers, remember, cannot be negative, so you can use numbers like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and on. Everything with no fractional part, decimal part, and no negative numbers. Instead of this looks like negative right here, even though 0 cannot be negative. I'll just put whole numbers, right? So next we'll move on to natural numbers. What are natural numbers? Natural numbers are whole numbers from 1 and up. So these are basically, teachers call these counting numbers. So you can use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on. So those are natural numbers, sort of like whole numbers, like without 0. Next we have integers. So integers are all whole numbers, including positive and negative whole numbers. So you can use, I'm gonna put those dots inside. So you can have -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. So integers are basically numbers with negatives and positives. And then finally, let's move on to rational numbers. So rational numbers are any number that can be written by dividing one integer by another. So we can use like 1/2, which is equal to 0.5, 3/4, which is equal to 0.75. We can use like, and more stuff like that. So, and we can also use improper fraction, like see, like 10/1, that equals 10. So those are rational numbers. I'm sorry, that wasn't the last one. There's many different types of numbers, so this is why this video is going to be called Types of Numbers and the Number Line. We might not get to the number line in this video, maybe the next video. So next you have irrational numbers. So instead of boring you guys with me writing, I'll just say irrational numbers are numbers that cannot be written as a simple fraction because the decimal goes on forever and forever. So pi, you can take pi, which you write like, oh, I messed up. You write pi like this, something like that. Pi's approximate value is 3.14. So, and then, but pi keeps going. So it's 3.14, 3.14159. That's all I know, which is pretty surprisingly stupid. So let me just search it up real quick. Okay, so I'll just write a few numbers I'm getting off of Google right now. 265. Okay, those are like 8 numbers I just gave you after the decimal point, and so this number keeps repeating. That's what irrational numbers are. Which rational number is like something which cannot be just written as a simple fraction because the decimal goes on without repeating. So these numbers will never repeat, if that makes sense. So yeah, pi is obviously going to be one of them, which and pi is used like for calculating like stuff with circles, which we're going to do later. So next we have real numbers. Real numbers are all the numbers that can be found on a number line. So you can have, say you have 6, you can have 6, 9, you can have negative, 21, you can have 3/4, you can also have pi, Okay, that's really bad drawing of pi right there. I mean, simplified is made. You can have squares. You can have like all types of numbers which can be showed on a number line. You can also have decimals. So yeah, those are the types of numbers. Now let's move on to the number line. Let's write this. Let me write this in another color. Let's write it in blue. Number line. And let's draw a line. So all rational numbers, like we said, can be placed on a number line, and also real numbers can be placed on a number line. So we've been talking about number lines. So what is a number line? It's basically a line that orders and compares numbers. So it goes from smallest to greatest. So smaller goes on the left, and biggest goes on the right. So you can have, for example, let's do back to black. Let's say this is your number line. You have 0 here. You get 1, 2, 3, 4. You get -1 here, -2 here, -3 here. So negatives are all obviously behind 0, and positives are in front of 0. And what these arrows, both of these arrows, mean that the number line goes infinite. That's one thing. That's the thing to know about number lines. So because 2 is larger than 1 and also larger than 0, it's placed to the right of those numbers. Because 2 is larger than 1 and 0. But then 3 is after 2 because 3 is obviously larger than 2. Same thing with 4. -1 is behind 0 because -1 is not as great as 0. 0 is greater than -1. -2 is lower than -1 because you want to go towards the positives. You don't want to go towards the negatives. So say if you have like $565 and you deposit like 600 of that, you're gonna have $35 left. No, if you have 500, like what did I said $565 in your bank account, you deposit 600, then you would be in debt by $35. You would be in debt by $35. So that's number line and types of numbers. Thank you guys for watching. And Wizard Out Space Ideas Revolutionized, our science and space channel.